Boxing King Media in association with Boxroom. Ben Shalom. Breakthrough Super Sunday coming up. Adam Azim's just done his media workout. First time he's faced off against an opponent that is coming to knock him out.
Yeah, big test. And fair play to LeRon Richards for taking this. I think I like watching LeRon fight. He's caused a lot of upsets before. He's made good fighters look ordinary. And he's coming here. It's a big test for Adam. Headlining. Massive audience as well. And a lot of pressure on his shoulders at 20 years old. But for me, he could be in there with anyone next week, and he'd do the job. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to people seeing how good Adam Azim is against a very, very tough opponent.
I spoke to Ryle, and one of the things he said is that he feels that Adam's never been hit, and that's what everyone keeps going on about. Do you think he'll be able to land a clean shot on Adam Azim?
Look, it's going to be tough, but even if he can, Adam spars with middleweights. It's hard for him to find even welterweights that want to spar him, and he's a special kid. We think that he's got a great chin as well, and I can't wait to. Again, I'm looking forward to seeing his career develop. And LeRon Richards is a perfect test because he's coming to win. We know what he's all about. He's a strong guy. He's a full man. Adam's still only 20 years old, and I think we're going to see how good Adam Azim is. But it's a tough test.
Definitely. And then one of the fights in the undercard, LeRon Richards, is actually, most people are finding it a really strange matchup where obviously LeRon's fought at world level, been an IBO world champion, and now he's fighting for the English title. So just explain to the fans that probably don't understand that.
Look, for me, LeRon was never our fighter, and for me his ability is up here but his profile's there, and that's just me being honest. I think fans want to see him in exciting fights, in British fights, and Zach Chelly only knows one way, and he's going to come to take his head off, and that's what I think fans want to see. And LeRon needs to be active. He needs to be on. He needs to build his profile. He needs to be on the big platform. And yes, it's a step back he will see in terms of ability, in terms of where he's at in his career. But it's very much necessary for him to get active, for him to be tested on TV, and of course show his ability. But Zach's coming to win as well, and I think that's a very exciting fight.
Is there a long-term plan for LeRon Richards, no matter what happens next Sunday?
We don't have a long-term deal with LeRon. I really rate him. I think he can do very well. As I say, I think he needs to be involved in fights that fans want to see, and he needs to be tested, and we'll see. I'm just looking forward to him getting back on Sky, impressing again, and then we'll see where we can go from there. We'll sit down with the team, but I'm glad that he's active because he's not been.
Sam Gillett, Sean Robinson. Last week you had Tyler Denny in an epic, fight of the year contender. And these sort of English title fights, sometimes they end up being the best fights of the night.
Yeah, I think Sam Gillett was in fight of the year. One of the fights of the year against Drew Brown last time out. Sean Robinson has only ever lost once, and that was in our tournament. They both live within 2 miles of Ali Pali. So that's what I think attracted us to that fight. They're going to come. It's a massive moment for both of them on Sky at Ali Pali in front of a huge audience. That's what we want to see, and two game fighters that want to change their lives.
Definitely. A couple of other subjects I want to speak to you about, Ben. First one is Lawrence Okolie. Obviously, nobody still really knows what's going on with Lawrence. He put a message out yesterday basically saying that he wants every organisation, every person that's done him wrong, he's at war with them in and out the ring. You're not one of them, are you?
Of course not. I don't look. That history with Lawrence and whatever's gone on, there's nothing to do with me. Obviously, I hope everyone sorts it out, and I hope everyone can get along because I think he's a great fighter. He's obviously a world champion as well, and I just want to see him active again. And I'm sure whatever's happened in the past, he can deal with it.
This legal battle that he's involved in, is it between him and Matchroom? Does it involve you guys at all?
Look, we don't even have any deal with Lawrence, so whatever it is, I hope they work it out. I'm sure they are. Our understanding is Lawrence is now out of contract, and because I know he's been approaching different promoters and everything. So I hope they sort it out, and it's nothing to do with me, so I can't really comment on what has gone on behind the scenes.
One thing that is definitely with you guys, Tasha Jonas, epic performance last week, winning another world title. Obviously, post-fight, I suggested Terry Harper to Joe, and he was quite quickly, he bit back and basically said, no, don't mention her name. Obviously, I spoke to Steffi Bull since, and he's now suggested an offer's gone in from Matchroom. So first one, has an offer gone in?
Yeah, an offer has come, but again, I work for Tasha Jonas. I think she's had an incredible year. She's the headliner. She's been winning titles. She has done things that no one thought she could do. She obviously didn't get the rematch when she felt like she deserved it and beat Terry at the time, and she wants the big name. She's only got 1 or 2 fights left. We'll do what Tasha Jonas wants to do.
Obviously, some fans are wondering online. She's kind of collected all the belts. There's only one left. Is the relationship that badly damaged that she'll not bother going down the undisputed route?
Look, I don't want to blame anyone, but fans don't see what Tasha could have easily retired last year without becoming world champion, without opportunity, without the rematch, without anything. And a lot of things happened to try and make that happen. And again, I wasn't involved. That stuff doesn't involve me. But I know who Tasha is. I know her as a person. She's an amazing person, and what she's achieved is now incredible and always was. And I support every decision that she makes, because I know she makes the right decisions. And for people to demand that Tasha does X, Y, Z and do this, I think don't know half the story. And I think people need to respect Tasha Jonas. She's a superstar in her own right, and she'll make the decisions that she wants to make.
Fair point, Ben. A last question on that. Could money ever change that decision on their part, or do you think it's that far gone?
It's not about money. I mean, she can earn money from loads of different fights. Obviously, that helps. But I think for her, again, if what Tasha Jonas wants to do is what she wants to do. We built her incredibly well on Sky. We want her fights to be on Sky, and she presents on Sky, and she can choose who she wants to fight. It's as simple as that.
I'm right in saying the offer that you've had, you're rejecting that?
Look, again, I'll sit down with Tasha. She's the boss. I work for Tasha. And so far, it's been pretty good.
Good man. Last question, Dalton Smith. Have you made an approach yet, or is that like a slow burning process?
I think they're going to take their time, and so they should. It's a very, very important decision at this stage in his career, and I'm just glad that he's got options, because we got to know him over the last fight, and he's a top guy. So is Grant, and they deserve everything that they get. And I think he's a top talent for the future. It's great that they've got these options at this early stage of the career. I think back even a few years ago, there wouldn't be these options, and you'd almost have to take what you were given. Now he can really see what his value is in the market, who's going to do the best for him, and whatever happens, I want to see Dalton Smith succeed.
And I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.